and it is recording.
Man, have I told you how much I love malls?
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Sorry, it's been a hot minute since we've recorded one of these. It was very simply, I didn't want to make thumbnails. As simple as that.
But a solution has been found.
A solution has been found. I got lazier.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I could show you how to do all these cool tips and tricks, and you're like,
No. The only reason I didn't want to do that is I do like the idea of just like us being in the thumbnail and be like, "Heidi ho, how you doing?" But at the same time, I also think like the little cartoony thing is more drawn, because if you look at like a lot of thumbnails nowadays, there's not a lot of faces in them.
yeah, who
Mostly
likes
ever.
real people? That's why VTubers are so popular.
Yeah, I actually have a goal on my channel to get a VTuber.
Are you gonna be like, is it just gonna be like a VTuber of yourself, or like
It's
something
gonna be a
else?
VTuber myself, but he's gonna be like totally dripped out. Like he's gonna have like a purple shirt, and then over that is like a military vest. He's gonna be like a
Oh.
military mercenary guy. It's gonna be tight.
Chiseled abs,
Yeah,
sick jawline, like just
basically the
exactly like
opposite of
you.
me.
No.
Oh. No, yeah, that's what I mean. The same. Anyway, you're going to a mall, right? Hold on. I gotta do this for the podcast. They gotta hear this crispiness. Ready?
Oh, I love this.
You didn't hear it, but I did.
No, I didn't. Okay, that's good. Hopefully that comes across in the recording. That's the important part.
No for advertisement.
No, yeah. So the other day I was at a mall. I mean, like West Edmonton Mall used to be like one of the biggest, not anymore. So that's kind of sad, but it's still really big. They
It's
got
not
cool
one of the
stuff
biggest,
over
but
there.
it still has some records because it still has the world's largest indoor water park, and I think it has the most like things you can do in a mall too.
Yeah. Well, so I was going there because there was this hobby shop that you told me about, and this was like a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kept going there, and it was like my favorite place to go because they always had cool figurines and like fun stuff. But the guy had
Would
it
you
for
like
like
to
30
show us some of the
years.
figurines that these guys have?
Oh man, they're like hidden all over my
Are
room
they
now.
are they safe for the computer? Are they safe for the are they
They're
safe for
fine, they're
YouTube?
good. I mean, like, there's like a bunch
They're pretty
behind me. I don't know
tasteful.
how that's gonna show up. The thing is too. So I picked up a couple of those. The guy owned the store for like 30 years, and then it like was shutting down.
Oh, you talked to
And
him?
no, I there was a interview he did like on their Instagram that I was watching. It was pretty good.
Okay.
But he was talking about that, so I went and checked it out, got some stuff, and I was like, cool, I'm on budget, I don't need to spend any more. And then the problem I have with malls is there's always a new store you find, because while I was walking around, there was just this new store I saw, and I walked in, and the whole point of this store was just that they sell gotcha boxes. So like they had
Oh no. Oh
mystery
no.
boxes where you could get different Eevee figurines, or you could get different Digimon figurines, or Kirby figurines. They had like a bunch of different random boxes.
I'm so
I
bad with
spent
that.
It was okay. The worst part was I was like, well, maybe I'll get one or two or three, and I started having a little stack, and then the teller comes up to me and says, hey sir, would you like a basket? And that's when I knew I messed up. um So I like pour them in my basket and go up to the till, and then they're like, what are you hoping to get? And I'm like, anything, I just want to be happy.
I'm so bad with mystery boxes. Like when we went to Animeathon last year, I was only planning to buy like, so he had a bunch of like those little mystery things you pull out, and I was only planning to buy like one of each until I won one of the top prizes.
Okay, so like if you don't know, they have these things where yeah, you have a little card, and then you like open it up, and depending on what number you get, corresponds to what prize. So like the higher the number, the better the prize. They have, like,
It
a
wasn't a
bunch of
number, it
different
was a
ones.
letter grading system.
Okay, well that's
So
what
it went
was,
from
but
like
same
A
idea.
to E, and E was like the most common one. And I was just gonna buy one of each because he had like four themes. He had like Mario, he had My Hero, he had like a game one, like that's just like game themed, and then there was one more I can't remember. I think it was SAO or something,
Yeah,
or the SAO thing was a different thing. And I was like, oh,
I
these
did
are
get
really
an
cool.
SAO one. Yeah.
And I bought one of each, and I was like, yes, because I was only planning to buy one of each. And then I got the top prize for one of them, and I was like, ooh, no, now I have to buy more. Because I was like, I'm lucky now, so I could probably get the top one. So I bought another one of each, and I am spending like $100 at that booth.
This is why people gamble. This is the problem.
Just to get a terrible action figure, too. Like the figure that I got, it was of Todoroki from My Hero, but it was his stupid costume from the first season that nobody liked that
Ooh.
they ended up changing.
Do you still
Like
like have it? Is it like at your place?
it's at my mom's place.
Oh.
And there was a lot of things I couldn't bring with me when I came here
That's
because
fair.
I only had 2 bags and I couldn't even fit my PC in one of them.
Are you telling me Todoroki was not important enough to take on the plane?
God no. I would sell them if I could.
Oh no.
I'm hoping to get some figurines while if I go to the fan expo that's happening here though.
Yeah, see, I got a problem with that. I just need more shelves. I think I need to buy more shelves.
Yeah, that's my problem too. Is like I don't know how to decorate because I've never been one to do that.
Decorate?
I have never decorated my room.
I do a little bit.
Only a little. Only a little.
I mean, like, even when we were roommates, I had like my walls covered with like posters and
your
stuff.
room was covered, and when it wasn't covered, is you got the rest of them the things to cover them when we went to like the expos and everything.
Yeah, and I don't think you ever put anything up.
No. I think it was just because I spent very little time just like laying in my bed. Like I don't.
You're lying to me.
Like to sleep, yeah, obviously. But I more mean like I don't spend a lot of time admiring my surroundings that I've created, you know? Like I'm sure you do. Like I'm sure you wake up and you like look around and why are you laughing?
Sorry, Jared. I don't spend enough time admiring my surroundings, unlike you.
No, I mean like you like when you're in your room and you're just like reading. Do you ever just like take a minute and just look at all the stuff you've put up and like think how cool
I mean, like that's
everything
like
looks?
the point, right? You're just
Yeah,
like laying
I
in
don't
bed,
do that.
you look at your walls, and you're like, "Wow, what cool posters I have up," you know?
I don't do that.
Have you watched the Five Nights at Freddy's movie?
Yeah.
So like the guy, he falls asleep looking at that poster on his roof. You know, you ever just put a poster up on your roof to fall asleep looking at it, you know?
No. I have to make sure.
Although you got to be careful sometimes, right? Because if you have posters on an outside wall, I have one that's on my outside wall. Temperature changes a lot with those, so sticky tack tends to fall off of that a little easier. And so it was literally last night. I was just falling asleep. I was falling asleep, and then in my dream there was an avalanche happening, and then I opened my eyes to see my poster come crashing down on my face, and I'm like, ah!
Did you scream?
I think I might.
Like, did you make an audible noise?
I don't know. I think I did, but then I asked my roommates. I'm like, "Did you hear anything at about 11 p.m. last night?" And they both said no. So maybe I was just quietly screaming. I don't know.
I know that you are a heavy sleeper. I know that for a fact because when we went to Animeathon the first year, no, when we went to the expo the first year, that was the year that me and you went and stayed in our own place before we went with your whole family, and we both slept with our windows open that night because it was really, really hot. Like, it was a really hot night. And we didn't know that there was going to be a storm that night. And apparently, we found out later because Jared's sister was also staying in the storm and she also had her window open. There was a thunderstrike somewhere in the city. And it was so loud that it shook the building. And it woke, like, me and his sister up. And we were terrified because we just heard a loud bang. And it was just terrifying. And then we get up the next day and we were like, did you hear that loud bang? We were like, did you hear that loud bang? That was terrifying. And I was like, I hear anything.
I had a great sleep.
I was like, I was sleeping. And I was just like, there's no way that didn't wake you up. It was so loud. Like somebody fired a gun in our room type of loud.
I feel like with my body, I don't know. We're working on our relationship here, but at least as far as I know, if I tell it like, "Hey, expect to be woken up," it'll mostly do that. The problem is if I am not expecting to be woken up, it just does not listen. Like I know, like if I'm like, "Hey, someone call me to wake me up," like I'll do that. But if someone calls me while I'm not expecting that, like I'll wake up and there's like 4 missed calls on my phone. And I'm like, didn't even know.
Oh yeah, I will say now I'm like if I know I need to wake up at a certain time before, I can wake up before then. But before I was not able to. I was not able to do that at all. And you know.
Yeah, you got better at that.
It was so funny too because literally the only reason I was so pissy whenever we woke up is just because I was hungry. Like me and Jared would go grocery shopping in the morning, and I was just such a bitch to be around. Like we talked about this on the podcast already, but I always felt better after we got food.
Man, I should just started throwing Snickers at you.
No, what you had to do is we just had to get the food first.
Ah, that's fair.
If
The
we got
problem
the
was I
food
always
first-
wanted ice cream.
Yeah, true. But you would always finish it by the time we got home.
I mean, like, it's so good. You got to eat it while it's
Yeah,
cold.
so I feel like you would have finished it in time. You would
God,
have
I should
finished it
get
before
ice
I
cream
would
today.
finish it because I take my time. I actually have a tub of Baskin Robbins ice cream sitting in my fridge right now. It's cookie dough.
That's like the best flavor.
Mm-hmm.
know
I
you
also have
can
chocolate fudge in there too, but it has nuts in it. I'm not a fan of nuts.
Why'd you get that ice cream? If you
I
like
didn't.
it?
My friends got it for me for my birthday.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was like a late
Um,
birthday present.
Have you ever just eaten cookie dough?
No, because doesn't that have salmonella?
Okay,
it's, like, rotting
good.
in
Yeah,
there?
that's like what I thought too. But like people, eat
I
it
hear
all the
that
time.
it's okay to eat like in small quantities, but you're not supposed to eat a lot of it. Like you're allowed to
I
be
mean,
like you're allowed to be like, ooh,
Yeah.
You know,
Apparently there is like edible cookie dough that you can just buy.
I think all cookie dough is edible. I just
Well,
mean like
no, like it says on the package because it's like it's safe to just eat it raw.
I don't know. I don't understand the appeal of it. I feel like
But
they're a lot
eating raw
better.
cookie dough.
Yeah, I think they're a lot better when they're cooked. Like when you're cooking cookies and they're just like so warm and like chewy from the oven. Oh, those
Do
are
you
the
like
best
a hard
cookies.
cookie or a soft cookie though?
I like a soft cookie.
That's fair.
The-
I think.
even when I have hard cookies, I dip them in the milk and I let them get soft and then I.
Well, so that's the thing people say, right? Is they're like hard cookies are good because you can dip them in milk. You can dip a soft cookie in milk too. It's just
You
like
can
you gotta be
too,
careful.
but no, it's a lot more of a stress-induced situation. I also don't just dip it in there to make it soft. I also like the taste of the milk on the cookies.
Well, yeah. Okay, so like Oreo is like top 10 best hard cookie.
Hmm.
No, you saying no?
I'm biased because
Against
I grew up getting those no name brand like chocolate and vanilla like cream cookies. I grew
You're
up with
saying
those.
that's better than an Oreo?
I'm saying it's close. I will say Oreo is definitely up there, but I think that that type of food is carried on brand alone.
Oreos?
Mm-hmm.
You don't like the flavors there.
I think there are cookies that are better than Oreo, but they will never be better than Oreo because Oreo has made such a name for themselves.
That's fair. That's
And
fair.
that's one thing that we learned about in like the classes I'm taking. It's brand awareness. Is their brand awareness is so high there that when they do their advertisings, they don't need to focus on like talking about how great their product is and why their product is. They just have to remind people of what their product is.
What was that was like a whole trend going around for a while. Was like Doritos was they're so big at this point. Like their billboard ads was literally just like the color red and an orange triangle, and people were like, Doritos.
Yeah. Oh, that was so funny. Our teacher showed us that the other day too. It was just a red billboard, and it was just the middle of the M from the arches from McDonald's, and people were like, "Oh yeah, McDonald's." And he's like, "Don't you think that's crazy that I can just show you this and you just automatically know it's McDonald's?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I guess so, but I don't really go there."
Well, and then yeah, because I was literally thinking about that yesterday because I was driving home from like watching a movie. What's the one I watched the other day? Oh, Ghostbusters, that new one. And there was like a company called Circle Square, and I'm like, I don't even know what they do there. What is this business?
What do you mean? Like
The business was called Circle Square Enterprises, and I was like, what?
Like, did they make
What
the movie or like?
No. Like this is just another building on my drive home. I saw like on a billboard.
Oh, I don't know. Google it.
Exactly, and I'm like, but that's the thing. It's like you hear the name Oreo, you're like, I know exactly what that. It's a cookie.
Well, I mean,
But it's
is there any like businesses from our town that you like looked at and you've never gone into and you're always like, I wonder what they do here and wonder how they're still open?
Why did that happen with you?
Like, there's a couple places. Like, I didn't go into a lot of the stores. The only places I really went to was like the pawn shop, the little dollar store, which ended up never actually being dollar, and the grocery stores.
Yeah, look, I feel like dollar stores' names are misleading. They should call it like cheap
I think
end
Dollarama
store.
is the only one that's the like true to it, but I also don't think people call them dollar stores to be truthful. I think they just do it to get people to come in.
Well, at one point it was $1. That was like the whole point, right? But then like
Yeah.
inflation happened, and now it's just not. And I think like I do love what Dollarama does because you walk in there, every chocolate bar is like $1, and you're like, this is unreal. It can't be true, but it
Mm.
is. It's crazy.
It's a crazy time.
I mean, sometimes they do have stuff for more than $1, but usually it's like in dollar increments. So it's like this is $5 and that's it. And it's like, okay, yeah, I agree. I don't know. When things just have nice numbers, I'm on board. Like there was this grocery store that was doing the like $10 sale, and like you could get multiple things for just $10. Like you have five tubs of jam, $10, 2 bags of cookies, $10, and I was like, yes, please.
That's
I
fair.
don't know.
I mean, I would too. Do you still keep snacks in your car?
I feel like I haven't.
Because I remember that used to be
Rip.
something you always do when we used to go to school. Like you used to drive yourself to school every day, and you
Yeah.
used to just have snacks in every compartment of your car. Not like the legal documents like insurance and anything like that. You had snacks. I think you made the effort to keep the insurance like somewhere else, didn't you?
I do have all the proper documents.
Yeah, but do you
But
keep them in the compartments that most people keep them in, or is that where all your snacks are? Or, like, did you keep
I
them
don't
like in
know
the
where
visor
people
or something
keep them in.
instead? People used to keep them in the
Um,
glove box or in the little side thing.
The glove box is weird. That's like over there. I can't reach over there.
Well,
I think
people
that's all
usually
that's
have
there
friends in
the
their cars,
instruction
Jared.
manual. They usually have what?
People usually have friends in their cars with them, and they grab it for them.
Oh, friends. Um,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. I don't know. I haven't been doing it as much lately. I did find that the best snack for your car, because I did play around with a bunch of options near the beginning. The best snack I found was Pringles, because the container fits in like your cup holder. You can reach in. Okay, now this might sound bad, but I got like tiny baby hands, so like I can reach in a
They
Pringles
do not
can
look
and
tiny
be fine.
baby in this angle.
Okay, yeah.
Like your
well,
arms
yeah,
look a
maybe
lot
not.
skinnier than like if you just go like this, they look a lot skinnier.
But I
also
do
have
have tiny
baby hands,
hands
though.
because like it was even bad. Like I compared my hands with like the girls in high school, and like I had smaller hands than them, and that's how I
tough.
knew I had small hands.
A lot of them
But
were
I can
like
reach.
taller than us though.
Look, I don't know, man.
Like you have
I
to
don't
keep
know.
that in mind. Like they were taller than you. It's not like you were taller than them and you had the same size hands as them.
Tiny
You
little
know?
hands.
Like if you were taller than them and they had bigger hands than you, then that would be different. But we're just short people.
That's fair.
You know what makes me
So-
so sad?
What?
When people talk about like I hear songs talking about like, yeah, I'm a short king, I'm 5'7", and I'm like, you're 5'7"?
5'7"?
I was like, that must be nice. I was like, that's considered short? I was like, what am I?
It was so bad too, because what was it? My friend got me to play this game, and I created my own character, and I was like making a character, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna be like 5'5", you know, that'll be a great height for her. And then I start playing the game, and she's just shorter than every other character in the game, and I'm like, why is she so short? And then my friend's like, oh, you made her 5'5", and I'm like, that's not short.
Okay, that's one thing you do. I do wanted to ask you about that. Is there a specific reason that when you create characters, it's always women? You
We'll
never
get back
create
to
a man.
that. Let me talk more about this Pringles can. So I got
Okay.
tiny hands, right? It is the best way to get in there because you can just reach in, fits in your cup holder. The nice part about Pringles too, and I guess potato chips in general, is they don't really get bad with the temperature change. Because I did try chocolates one time, doesn't work in the heat, very bad. Gummies can also kind of be okay in the cold. In the heat, they get melty and gross. So chips, definitely good all season in winter or in summer. And then yeah, Pringles nice because they also have the lid, so you can put that back on, throw it in your glove box or console, and you're good to go. 10 out of 10 snack.
Okay, so that's the best car snack, you think?
Yeah, that's what I've decided over the years. I've tried gummies, I've tried chocolate. Gum can be fine, but that's not really a snack. If you're swallowing that, you should seek help.
I think
So
gum is only useful for planes. Other than that, I'm not a fan.
you ever just chew gum?
No. I think my jawline is too perfect already, and I don't need to exercise it.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely.
You can't tell because I'm fat, but it's there.
I mean, like, you ever just like chew some big hubba bubba and blow like some big bubbles? That's like the good stuff.
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you want from me.
I mean, like I do.
I've never
That's
been a
fun.
fan
That's
of
good
chewing
stuff.
gum and blowing bubbles. It's just not been my thing, not been my jam, you know?
It's really fun. You gotta be careful though. And I mean, like, I think you in particular, because you have glasses, would have to watch out more. Like, if I get it like on my face, I can just wipe it off. But like, I think glasses would be harder to get it off.
I feel like it'd be easier to wipe it off glasses. It's your hair that's the problem. Like, what if you got it in your beard?
Okay, how big's your bubble? Oh crap! I got a beard now. Yeah, that might make it harder.
Yeah, then you gotta go get the peanut butter.
Or the razor.
Are you willing to shave your beard if you got gum in it?
I mean, like, yeah, it grows back.
How often do you shave that?
Uh,
Do you shave it at all, or do you just trim it?
I mean, like, yeah, I don't really just shave the whole thing off. I just like trim it.
Okay, but
I know,
so,
like,
so
that
what
was
are
always the
you
problem.
waiting for? Are
Yeah.
you waiting for it to get thicker, or are you fine with what it's at right now?
No, I kind of like it short. I know some people have like those really thick, long beards. I don't like that.
Because
I kind of like it.
this is my limit. This is what I got on me. This is like you can't really tell because it's the shadow. Hold on, let me get a flashlight. Let me get a flashlight so you can see my beard. Like it's like little stubble. Like it doesn't get any thicker than this. It just gets longer, and it's really unfortunate because it's not really a beard.
For all the audio listeners, it's not very big.
For all the audio listeners, Shelton pulled out a gun. No. It's very,
No, yeah.
very, it's very, very thin. Like it's visible if you get close. It kind of just looks like I have a shadow at all times under my chin, and it only goes under my chin. There's nothing up here. There is nothing in these areas.
You're
under
just kind of
my
rocking
chin.
like the neck beard.
Yeah, that's all I have. So all I have is just a neck beard and then like the little like stash, which doesn't ever get thick either. So I always just have to shave it, and it's just kind of unfortunate because I probably would grow it out if I could. Maybe it would hide my round face, you know.
Once you hit puberty, it'll like come in.
You think I'm getting this on my face because I haven't hit puberty? Is that what you're trying to say? My pits got a lot of hair. You want to see my pits?
Well, how do you get that stuff over here?
Glue.
Wow, Sheldon, your pits are so smooth. Where did all it go? Turns around, just a giant pit.
Looks at them. It's just all on my cheek, just the one cheek.
Oh, what is it? Those people used to have those like mutton chops, just like on the sides.
Mutton chops, like the Wolverine. Isn't that what he
Yeah.
had? He had muppin chops, mutton chops.
Muppin.
Okay, so you answer my question now.
Oh yeah.
Why is this just like a conscious decision that when you're making creative characters, you only make women?
It's not only. I think it depends on the game.
I've never seen you make a man.
I think it tends to be more. I mean, look, I got a good reason.
When have you made a man? I want to make this clear. When have you made a man?
I played Fallout 4 as a guy.
This is like
there's
early. This is like early Jag lore, though. I'm talking about nowadays.
Okay, but there is like
Fallout 4 came out in like 2015, 2016, man. That's like 5-7 years ago. God,
I
that
mean,
was
like
7 years
the whole
ago.
thing
Oh,
is, if
God.
especially like for third-person games, if I'm gonna be staring at a character the whole time, I'd rather stare at a girl. Like that just makes more sense to me.
See, that's a logical answer. I thought you were gonna say some dumb shit like I want to be a woman.
Jesus Christ,
What? No problem.
that's
with
an
that.
illogical answer.
Yes,
Oh my god.
because you're not making an effort to do that. You're just choosing to live that persona in game.
I mean, isn't that the whole point of
Not
like
because I
video
hate
games?
women or anything.
Yeah, I feel like this is where it's really
Is
sounding
that where it was going to? No, that's not what I mean.
You should clarify that for the people.
I think women are cool. Sometimes even cooler than us. Women scare me.
How do they scare you?
I'll be playing games like Valorant, and then a woman will talk, and I'll be like, "Hee."
Oh, you're like the guys from every compilation ever.
Yeah. Most of the time, I'm doing it for the jokes, though. Like, in actuality, I can usually hold a conversation with a woman, especially if I'm playing games like Apex or Valorant, because I'm so focused on the game that I don't really care. I don't really care who I'm
say
talking to.
in games, but how well does that work like in person? You ever like roll up to a restaurant and just like someone's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And you just like have a conversation with a woman on the street.
They scare me.
Yeah.
which is funny too, because I recently went to a restaurant with my friends, and one of my friends, he's just like a super social person, so he's having like a full conversation about Pokemon Go with this waitress because she also plays Pokemon Go, and she has like a rival gym at this restaurant we're at. And so they're having conversations, and then she starts talking to me, but I was like, oh, I just started playing. And she's like, oh, okay. And it goes back to the friend. I was like, that was the most stressful situation of my life.
You're supposed to whip out your shiny.
I didn't have any. I just started playing. I have one shiny now, and I got it from an event where they were just dropping shinies like they were fucking candy.
How many hundos you got?
Hundos. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna look.
So in Pokemon Go, when you hit appraise, it'll tell you their rating from 1 to 3 stars. And if you have a 4-star, that means all their stats are maxed out. It's 100.
Oh, I don't think I have any of those.
Oh,
let me
that's
look.
fair.
I know I have a couple 3-stars, but I don't think I have any of the cool ones. Let me look real quick. I got it open. Pokemon.
So I guess the tip here is use Pokemon Go to pick up ladies. Is that how this is working?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I have no perfects. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah, it says 0.
It says.
I have a question for you. Have you ever set any accidental fires? Have you ever accidentally set something on fire? Or have you ever been trying to set something on fire and you made it to more of an extent than you didn't realize, and now it's become a problem?
No. I feel like I want to play with fire more, but I just never do. I did buy a lighter. I bought 2 lighters like last month, and then people were like, "Why'd you buy lighters?" And I'm like, "Cause of the fire." Like, I don't smoke or anything. I just wanted like something for fire.
But that's when you're supposed to lie. You're supposed to say, "Oh yeah, I'm a heavy smoker," not because you want to play with fire, because then they're gonna be concerned about you.
And then like I would just like sit in my room once I got the lighters for like a couple weeks and just like
you just play with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, no, I have that problem too, but I took it to a farther extent, and I would just like take tissue and I'd put it in a bowl or something, and I would just lay it on fire.
What's the one you're supposed to do? Steel wool. Like just
no, steel wool. Don't set steel wool on fire. Holy crap! Don't set steel wool on fire. No, because
did you ever do that experiment where you put hand sanitizer on your hand and light that on fire?
Yeah. It's fun until it burns through the hand sanitizer, and that hurts.
Fire!
Because you put it on your hands and then you don't feel anything, and then it burns through the hand sanitizer, and it's finding something else to burn, which is your hand. So you have to like shake it off after. It's kind of terrifying. Our chem teacher let us do that. Did you know that?
Yeah, she did for our class too.
Did you do yours too? Yeah. It was so funny. Because she's just like, yeah, go ahead, do it, set your hand on fire. And I'm like,
getting kids to light themselves on fire.
Ma'am, I don't think this is a good idea. Actually, no, do it. I'm like, okay.
Best teacher ever.
Oh, she's the best teacher. I actually saw her before I moved. It was so nice. I saw her because she came through the drive-thru a couple times. And there was one time I was walking home from a store. I had like 2 packs of Pepsi with me, and I was walking home. And I saw her at the gas station. And I was like, ah! We both screamed, and then I hugged her, and we talked, and it was really nice. I'm glad I got to see her one more time before I left. Best teacher.
I love how a lot of stories involve you just out with Pepsi or chicken. Those are great. The only reasons to leave the house.
I feel bad for that teacher too, because I was such a menace in her class.
Yeah,
I was such a menace. I'm so glad she just like didn't take it seriously though. Like I'm glad she didn't see it as like for like malicious intent. It's just who I was. At least in high school.
It's just who I was. Just a real brat.
I think I'm a lot more. I think I'm a lot more chill now. I wasn't a brat. What? I was not a brat. Was I?
You're fine. You're fine now.
I think she let me get my way as long as it wasn't disrupting anything. Like during tests, I would just finish and start playing Cuphead, and she didn't care. That was fire.
I mean, that was like the best part about our religion classes. Was once you did like the little homework assignment, and then I just like played my Switch. It was like great.
Religion class was so convenient because you could save all the work till the very last week, and you could still get it all done and have like 5 days to spare.
Although to be fair, depending on which class, I know like high school was like that, but I think junior high, they were always chill though. And I remember one day, one of my friends was like, he just brought his Star Wars movie into class and was like, "Hey, Mr. Religion teacher, can we watch Star Wars today in religion?" And then he was like, "Yeah, okay." So we just started watching like Star Wars, and he's like, "Yeah, this is your religion class for the day, kids." And I was like, "Yeah, sick."
We did that for one of my classes back at my old school. We watched. They asked us to bring in movies, and I brought in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, like the movie. I actually really like that movie. It's very interesting.
The movie or the TV series?
They did a movie and then they did a TV series.
Oh, okay.
But I think the first season of the TV series is just a redo of the movie. Because the movie is like when he first gets his Padawan, in like the adventures they go on, and then eventually the Padawan who like just started like fights a fucking Sith Lord all of a sudden. Like, okay, cool, fine. Mm-hmm. Anyway, back to accidental fires. The reason I brought it up is because there was there was one time I was at my Muslims, and for those of you who don't know, Muslim is Cree for grandfather. So I was at my Muslim's house, and I was there by myself, and I had tissues and I had a lighter, so I was doing my usual business, thing on fire, and the fire got really bad. I was like, oh, this isn't good. So I dump it into the garbage, not realizing that garbages are also flammable, and I set his garbage on fire inside his house. I'm like, oh no, oh no. So I grab a cup and I'm filling this up as this fire is starting to rise in the garbage. And like, I go, dump it, fire still. I'm like, no. I go get more water and I'm watching this fire keep going. And I did that for like a full minute until I finally got it out. And I look in there and there's like a hole in the bag where the fire was and all the garbage is like burned. I'm like, what do I do here? So I left.
I left so many of these stories. Like, this reminds me of your like glass and mop story. Like,
oh, I forgot about that. Oh, that's a funny story. So here's what happened. Glass and mop story. So I was babysitting my nephew at the time, and he wanted pickles, and I was like, oh, I'll get you pickles. Just give me 1 second. And I go to the bathroom, and then I hear a while I'm washing my hands, and I was like, fuck, what happened? I run out there, and he's standing in the middle of this like glass covered floor, and he's like, I wanted pickles. And like, what is wrong with you? And I grab him and I pick him up so he doesn't step in the glass, and I walk away. While I was picking up, I accidentally step in glass, so I now have a little piece of glass in my foot. And I walk him to the room, and I was like, you need to stay in here. I need you to not go into the kitchen. And he was just like, why not? And I was like, I need you to promise me you don't go in the kitchen. And I guess I like scared him because he was like nervous after that, and I had to comfort him afterwards. But that's not really important to the story. So now there's glass all over my floor, and I call my sister because I'm watching her kid, and I'm like, hey, there's glass all over the floor. He spilled a jar of pickles. He's like, did he step in the glass? I was like, no, what are you? No, I did. And she's like, oh, that's okay. And I'm like, thanks. And I was like, I don't remember how to clean glass. Do I pick up the glass first or do I clean the pickle juice? And she's like, oh, clean the pickle juice first. And I was like, okay, do you have a mop? And she's like, yeah. So I grab the mop and I start mopping up the glass covered pickle juice. What I did not realize is that the little glass shards had started to embed themselves into this mop head while I was mopping. So I finished this and I go put the mop away because she didn't have a mop bucket. I didn't realize that she was wringing out this mop by hand. So I go put this mop in the bathtub, and I'm like, okay, I'll pick up the rest of the glass shards with bread, because bread is really good at picking up glass. I don't know if you know this.
I haven't attempted that, no.
No, so like because bread is really soft, the glass gets stuck in it when you do this.
I mean, like, it makes sense.
It's actually really useful. It's a good little tip. If you ever drop glass and you can't see where it is, and you don't think you've mopped it all up,
rubbing bread on the floor.
Yeah, no, like you do it on the corners. So like what you do is you mop up the ones in the middle, and if you can't get the ones that are in the corner because your broom can't go, you go in with bread and you go pick it up on the corners. And it's basically just to make sure you got it all. And so back to what happens. I finished doing this, and I'm sitting in the bathroom, and I'm trying to get this glass shard out of my foot because this entire time there's a piece of glass on my foot. And my sister comes home, and she's like, "Hey, did you finish cleaning the juice?" And I was like, "Yeah, the mop's just in the bathtub. You just need like." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "By the way, where's your ringer?" She's like, "Oh, I ring it up by hand." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't think much of this. And then I hear her scream. And I was like, what happened? What happened? And she's like, there's a bunch of glass in my hand. She's like, why is there glass in this mop? So what I've done is I've created this mop weapon, right? I've created this weaponized mop full of glass shards in it, and I didn't know she was ringing it up by hand. So she went in to ring it up by hand, and she got a bunch of glass in her hands. And I was like, why did you ring it out? She's like, this is how I ring out my mop. And I was like, you don't own a mop bucket? So she got a bunch of glass in her hands, so I had to help her get the glass out of her hands. Oh, God. It wasn't as bad as she made it out to be, but the way she made it sound is she sounded like she like just went like this with the glass thing. It was terrifying, and then I now realized I was like, this has been like an hour and a half now. I was like, oh, my nephew's still in the room. Yeah, so I weaponized my sister's mop, and it hurt both me and her. We took physical damage.
Fire and weaponized mops. Are you good?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think I'm fine now. I now know that glass embeds themselves into mop heads.
the the more you know.
It's not. It's good that I learned it now rather than later, and my wife thinks I'm stupid.
Honey, there's glass in my hands.
Are you telling me you've never weaponized a household appliance or household item?
Um, no, I think the most I've done is just broken them. Yeah, that's about it.
You never weaponized one. What are some crazy things you've done when you were younger? Like you ever explored an abandoned building?
No, I mean, like, there was that hospital in town that I wanted to go to, but, like, I never ended up doing. Did you ever go there?
I wanted to, but I always heard stories that they had cameras in there, and they
Yeah, I
had
know.
like
Look, you aren't supposed to go to abandoned places,
I
which
always
is why I
heard
never
they had
did, but, like,
cameras and they had like sensors, like they had motion sensors. So that's why I never
well,
went.
yeah, because, they don't want people in there, but, like, man, wouldn't it be cool to go check out an abandoned building?
And I believed it just because my schools had motion sensors. And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to risk it, But I definitely would have if they didn't have all that stuff. I definitely would have, like 100%. And I'm sure if they, I'm sure like it would not have taken much to convince you to come with me. At the very
that's the
least,
thing, like,
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
you see all these, like, people online and stuff checking out all these abandoned places, and it's like, where are you finding this? And it's usually, like, in the States and, like, these heavily more populated areas in cities and places.
I think I've been to. I think I've only been into 2 abandoned buildings.
Oh,
There was an abandoned house near in the town I used to live in, and we went into there, and it was kind of like just a mess. Like there was a bunch of stuff everywhere. It was like this person was kind of just using it more as storage than anything, and they kind of just forgot about it. I'm pretty sure the house. I don't think the house is owned by. I think it's owned by somebody, because if it was owned by the town, then they would have went and cleaned it and gave it to somebody else. So we went in there and we kind of just like looked around. I think that we kind of just like looked around. There's a bunch of like garbage and stuff. I think we found like $5. We found like a $5 bill lying around. So you're like,
it's a win.
allegedly we went in this building.
Allegedly.
I think I've talked about this. I don't remember if I did, but I definitely do want to do that. And I think at some point in my life, I do want to go ghost hunting at least once.
Right? Okay, like I said, I was just watching the new Ghostbusters. I mean, it's not going to be like that. But
Yeah, we're going to go in with our shop vacs and try and suck up a ghost.
I'm just saying, it gets you pumped to hunt some ghosts, is all I'm saying.
Would you be down to? Like, would you spend 24 hours in a haunted building?
Yeah, I feel like, okay, it's not as bad as I feel like people make it out. Maybe I just have less fear.
I saw a video of, like, these 2 guys. I don't remember their names, but, like, they're pretty big YouTubers. They went to, like, oh, come on. Getting notifications, hold on.
But I know, like, I'll see videos online of people doing, like, their own, like, horror videos where it's like, I was just laying in bed and then they look over and there's, like, a shadow in the distance. I'm like, you know what? Maybe that would be creepy, but...
That would be creepy, but I've seen, like, people go to, like, the Conjuring house and they have had, like, chill times. They went there for, like, a week, and, like, the first day they were chill. And I was like, I'm only going there for a day. Yeah, I'm only going there for a day. I'm not going any longer than that.
I don't know. I feel like with some of this stuff, you shouldn't just mess with it,
The key is to just not fuck around. Take it seriously.
Would you mess with a Ouija board in one of these places?
I won't.
No.
Ouija boards are scary.
It's one thing to sit there for 24 hours. It's another to, like, start inviting things in.
I would just go there to capture evidence. I would not go there to invite the ghosts into my life. And I would do a fuck ton of research first. Like, I would not go in there, like, and do something wrong. But I would definitely want to do it. Like, if I wouldn't do it for 24 hours, I would at least do it for, like I would do it for, like, an afternoon, an evening.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
just to
fair.
try it out.
An afternoon in the haunted house with Shelly. Join us for our live stream.
Are you telling me you wouldn't?
I mean, like, I feel like an afternoon you'd be fine. Bring some of those like white noise boxes so it can pick up, like, voice talk, ghost talk and stuff. The sensors.
I think that'd be fun.
Fun.
Well, I'm not gonna go fuck around. I'm not gonna be like, hey, how much pussy you get before you die? Like, I'm gonna ask them, like,
just start threatening the ghost.
Yeah, no, I would never do that.
You here? Get out! We don't want you.
You ever seen that video of that one guy where he's like, hey, ghost, my name's Greg. Like, he just, like, fucks around, and I'm just like, why would you do that? You're terrifying. Okay, and I have one more question for you, and I think it's something I've been thinking about a lot recently. Why did you stop making? Why did you stop streaming and stuff?
Oh, well, honestly, it was just because what? When did I? Because I like moved out, and then I moved to a place that like didn't have the greatest internet, and then I was like, maybe they just got some new internet. I'm like, maybe I could start streaming again. But then like my schedule was weird because I was switching positions with my job a lot. And then
Mm.
now that I moved into this new place, I kind of got a better schedule, and I probably could, but I've just been like busy with some other stuff, so I just haven't. But honestly, I have been thinking about maybe getting back into it. It was
Because
just kind of more of a life transition
because
thing.
I did notice like whenever when you were streaming, you were doing pretty well to begin with. Like you were averaging like what 5 to 10 viewers every stream.
Yeah, around.
That's really good for starting off with.
Yeah, for basically someone with nothing. Yeah.
And as long as you like, and I think as long as you make the effort to post content about it afterwards, like you could definitely
That's fair.
you could definitely get a decent chunk of change from it.
I like did not do that, but I definitely could. Yeah, I should get back into it eventually.
Like
That is
so,
something I
the
want to
only
do.
reason I don't like to do it is because I don't enjoy editing as much as others. Like once I start, I can get it done in one sitting, but I don't ever have the energy to start because I don't know. I don't know what it is about editing. It's not that I don't enjoy it. I just don't, because I do enjoy doing it. I just don't like how time consuming it is to make just a simple little TikTok.
And that's fair too. And it uses like all your senses. Like you got to be listening, you got to be watching, and you got to be. So you can't like be listening to music or a podcast while you just mindlessly click away at it. You got to be listening to it as well. Like
It's also like a steep
full
learning
focus.
curve too. Like if you want it to look nice, you have to put in the effort to learn all of these little
Yeah.
tips and everything. And I just don't. I don't want to do that. Like I just want to get good enough to the point where I can afford to get somebody to do it for me. Because
That's
I
fair.
I enjoy the content creation of it and I enjoy the putting out the things of it. I don't enjoy the busybody work of it.
But I know there are like people out there who just like love editing. You know.
Yeah, there's people out there who love editing. I'm not one of them. I do enjoy editing. I just don't love it. Like it's not my passion. Like if someone paid me to do it, I would. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to edit. Like now I only try and edit when I need to, like for the podcast. To be fair, I only did one TikTok for the last podcast because we weren't really that funny.
Oh man.
But
You gotta be cracking more jokes.
hey, you guys hear about the one the seagull who flies by the bay?
No, what happened?
Well, we hit the 45-minute mark, guys. So I guess no, I'm kidding. Imagine though.
Okay, you gotta finish the joke.
No, I don't.
This is.
You know the joke. Why don't you finish it?
That's not the point.
That is the point. Okay, I have a question for you.
What?
No, we're moving on from the joke. I have a question for you.
This is hurting my insides.
Do you
Anyway,
have,
what?
Do you have movies that everybody fucking hated that you enjoyed? Like, do you have hot takes about movies?
Okay, so it's weird because I was just talking to my roommates about this. Apparently, they both don't like Ghostbusters.
Like
and
the
I love
OG ones or
Ghostbusters.
the new ones?
Yeah, like both.
I
of them.
personally have not watched them.
Really? What is with this? Okay, you gotta watch that. But secondly, I think this movie also was just like not very good, but I love it, which is Chicken Little. Like you look at the scores online, and I think some people are just like, yeah, it's fine. I absolutely love that movie.
To be fair, I think a lot of older movies have a lot of bad scores.
That's could be fair.
Like people think like there was this one movie that came out with Disney. I don't remember what it was called. It was like a pirate thing, but it wasn't like it was like futuristic pirate themed. I don't remember what it was called.
What?
I don't remember what it was called, but like it did really bad when the movie first came out. But then like people like it went out to Disney Plus and people like loved it on Disney Plus.
Huh?
And I don't remember what it was called. Oh, hold on.
Future Pirates.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. I don't want to look it up. I'll probably figure it out by next thing. So is it just Chicken Little? Is that your hot take movie?
I feel like it is. Yeah, I that's one of my like all-time favorite movies.
The thing with me is I'm very easy to please when it comes to movies. I never watched the original source material, but the M. Night Shyamalan version of the Last Airbender,
No.
I didn't mind it.
No, no.
Like, I thought it was okay.
To,
I didn't think it was bad.
to be fair, like I knew it was bad, but me and my mom went and saw it in theaters like 7 times, like
Why
back to back.
7? You spent money on that 7 times? I would not spend money on it 7 times. I waited till it came out on like the
No, like we
DVD
saw
and
it
they bought
7 times in theaters. Like it was so
Why?
good. There was times when even like my dad and sister were like, "Oh, we're doing other stuff." Me and my mom were like, "Yeah, we're going."
We're gonna go watch this again.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, that's even crazier. Like you didn't like it?
It
Or
was
did
like
you like it?
fine.
It's like fine enough to watch 7 times in theaters?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What were your thoughts on the Willy Wonka movie? With Timothée Chalamet.
I still gotta watch the last 20 minutes.
Oh,
I think
right.
we did talk about this on the podcast, but yeah,
Right, you got kicked out partway through.
Yeah, I know it's on like Disney Plus now, so I can go like watch the last 20 minutes, which I gotta go do. But most of it I thought was pretty good.
I really liked it. To be fair, I'm a sucker for musicals.
Ah, that's fair. You should watch the new Kung Fu Panda. It's not a musical, but it's pretty good.
I heard people hated it.
Yeah, you know what? They did.
I heard people say it didn't do justice to Kung Fu Panda because that's because apparently it's like the last movie.
Well,
Like apparently they're not planning. Apparently they're
are they not
to do
planning on
another
doing anymore? It's weird because they set it up where they could, if they wanted to come back, they could make another one.
one. Why is like his
but like they
grandpa
did
alive
leave it
now
as
or
an ending.
something?
Well, they left it at a part where it's like they could continue it, but they did give it like a nice ending.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's not as strong as it could have been, especially considering they didn't bring back like the Furious 5 and a bunch of other stuff. But I thought it was fine. I'm also biased because they told like one of my favorite stories, so like I was like on board the entire time.
That's fair. That's fair.
If you have a rogue thief character that like is cool and funny and awesome, and then becomes a good guy, like I'm there. I'm on board. That's like every class I play in D&D is a rogue, so I'm like.
That's fair. Do you ever branch out, or do you just stick with rogue every time? I'm not asking it to like make fun of you. I'm like just curious.
I want to, but then every time I'm just like, well, but I could. Even like, what is it? Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and I'm like, oh, I could try something new, or I could play Rogue, and so I did.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I went to the store the other day, and I've been sketching lately, and I was like, you know what? Let's step my sketch game up a little. I've already been doing pencil, so I'm trying some new pencils. I bought an actual bigger notebook. Like, hang on, this thing is like actually notebook size now instead of just like little.
Is it
small
like
thing
actual
I had.
sketchbook vibes though, or is it just like lined paper?
Well, no, it's like actual like just blank paper.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, what's the next step? I need color. So I was like, I need to buy pencil crayons. And I bought 150 pencil crayons. These things, there's so many here. I didn't even know they made this many. Like, look at how many colors are in this thing.
That is
Did you know they made that many colors? I didn't know that many colors existed.
I know they made the 64 packs of the Crayola because I used to have one. Like
this color is called medium almond.
What the fuck is medium almond?
Powder blue eggplant.
What is eggplant?
I think it's an emoji, actually.
Why do you have an emoji color?
What is this one? This is tropical rainforest. Yeah.
Tropical rainforest?
And this one is spring frost.
No, that's green. Dude, color namers piss me off. That's peach.
Outrageous orange.
Outrageous orange? No, it's peach. That's what's outrageous about it. It's peach.
Let's find another one for you. This
It's purple.
periwinkle.
Periwinkle?
Periwinkle.
Isn't that the name of like some fucking character from a show? I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
that's
one.
Light blue.
Close, sky blue.
Pull it up again. That's sky blue. Pull up sky blue again.
This is powder blue.
That's powder blue. No, it's blue.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
lighter
there's so
blue.
many colors in this thing. It's wild. I've been trying to figure out how to use them all. I just got excited.
I used to have this 64 pack of the wax Crayola crayons. The one that had like a sharpener in the back.
Oh, yes, that's the best one.
Yeah, I used to have one of those. I was the cool kid in school. I was like, "Oh, you want to color?" I didn't even draw. I just had the colors. I didn't even
Yes,
I didn't even like
color
coloring. I just knew I'd be the cool kid if I bought those.
them.
Well, we are hitting that mark for the day.
Ready to wrap it up?
I am ready to wrap it up. Do you have any closing remarks or anything you want to say before we go?
Eat your vegetables and stay frosty, kids.
I'm never letting you close again. You do the outro. Do the outro. I always do the outro. You do it.
Oh man, look, I always forget what you say though. What do you say? Like, follow us on our stuff and goats. Look,
Goats?
You do it.
Guys, thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. These will be happening a lot more frequently because I figured out a cheat code for the thumbnails. Make sure you check out both of our socials. You can check this podcast socials in the bottom, and you could also see our individual socials. Apparently, Jag's going to try streaming a lot more. We're holding him to that now. Once he comes back. He's gone now. He's going to start streaming a lot more, and I already do stream a lot more. So you guys should definitely check us out on our own individual time. And you know what? Maybe you'll even see us in a stream together. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. And this is episode 6, I believe. Time does fly. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Jag.
Bye.
Bye.